Alright, everybody, it is time for our live tutorial of the series. And this one, we are going to be taking a look at a very old classic, albeit a very new classic, and that is Lunar Magic. This is where all the magic happens, no pun intended, where your favorite Super Mario World Rom hacks have been made. A lot of people who started making ROM hacks have regarded Lunar Magic as the original Mario Maker, the OG Mario Maker, if you can believe it or not. So I'm gonna guide you through how to start making your very first ROM hack. So as you guys can see, I'm already working on one. This is the one I'm gonna work on for you guys for the website. So the first thing you want to do before we get started is download Lunar Magic. Lunar Magic can be downloaded on SMW Central. The link isn't all the links I'm about to show with you is in the description except for one of them. So you can get Lunar Magic here. All right, the version is 3.51. To make sure you guys understand that version 3.51. The next thing you need is an emulator like SNES 9X. Make sure you have at least an emulator to play. The next thing you're going to need is a Super Mario World Rom. But due to rules, I am not allowed to present on how you guys get it. I cannot show you where to get it. You have to get it on your own. You need the original Super Mario World ROM in order to get started. You must find it on your own. I am not allowed to do so by rule. Once you have everything together, you also need one more file, and it is for patching floating IPS, floating LIPS, floating lips, flips. Um, it's a patcher. Flip, I believe it's called. Yes, floating IPS. This is the other tool you're gonna need for later once you want to make your own patch for your own Super Mario World ROM hack. You must have this for that reason. You're also gonna need a notebook, pencil, so that you can design your own levels once you start getting into the swing of things. Once you have everything ready, and assuming that you have your own Super Mario World ROM, which I cannot show you how to do because of rules. What you want to do, I'm going to save my level here. You want to go to File, you want to go to Open ROM, and you want to make a copy of the clean ROM so that you can have that for later. I have my tutorial hack just to present this, but this is the one I'm modifying. I actually have a copy of a lot. I have copies of a lot right here. I have a lot of copies just in case I made a mistake. And I even have Dropbox. All right. So when you open your ROM, you're gonna see this. Now, this is the original Super Mario World, where everything is not modified. That is your very classic Mario World. All right. Now let's go over a lot of things. We could go a lot over a lot of things today. And then if we have time at the end, I'm gonna show you some level design stuff. So there's a lot of things on the screen already. I'm gonna close this so that we can do a fresh reset here. There's a lot of things on screen. All right. I'm gonna leave space to my right so that we have enough space for the other windows, which I'm gonna show you guys in just a quick moment. So we have a few things to go over. So this is level 105. This is not level 1. A lot of people get it confused that this is level 105 and not level 1. When Super Mario World was coded, they could have a little bit of their own idea. Level 1 on the overworld is not level 1 created. You never know what level is created first, right? So level 105, Yoshi's Island 2, the one going on the left side of the map when you start, this is level 105. So if I play this now, it's literally Mario World, the original. Nothing was modified, alright? But we're gonna modify some things now. Starting with the top portion of the UI, we have layer 1 editing mode. We have layer 2 editing mode. We have sprite editing mode with the turtle shell. The turn block is the add objects window, which we will go over in a moment. The Yoshi, the baby Yoshi, is going to be a add sprites window. The question mark block without the with half is the 8x8 graphics editor window. The other one is the 16x16 tile map editor window. Next to that is the background layer 2. Then we have the overworld editor. We will not discuss that today. We're going to go into that maybe at part 3. Then we have the palette editor window and the star. The zoom, very simple. The Yoshi fruit is the animation. The mushroom is the quick extract GFX graphics from ROM. The one up mushroom is a quick insert of graphics from to ROM. The blue mushroom is a quick extract X graphic from ROM. Quick insert X graphics is the golden mushroom, and the one with the X is the reload graphic. Keep in mind we will not discuss any graphics material during this series because it requires some knowledge of graphics and stuff. We will not go into that in this particular series. This is more for beginners. Whoever wants to start making your own ROM hack. Alright? The bottom row is Super Graphics Bypass. The poison mushroom is the index. The green mushroom is the layer 3 graphic. Now I'm going to talk about doors and exits. This is going to be coming up more when we get into making our own level on Thursday. So this is very important to know. This is a very important thing you need to know about, especially once you start making your own level. The plus minus door is the modify screen exits dialog, which we will go over more in detail on Thursday, but I will touch on it today. The one with the letter number 1 is the modify main and midway entrance dialog. This is for those where you modify the main exit, the main entrance to the level, and when you die after collecting the midway point, you're going to modify the midway entrance. The one with the 2 signifies the modify of the secondary entrances. This includes doors and pipes. This is the scan level for undefined exits. This is important that you check. If you do not check, you're going to end up in bonus room purgatory. Literal. I'm not kidding. This blue door is called the screen exit. You must have this on, especially once you get into pipes and doors. Those are the most important factors of the screen exits. And you can see that I have the screen exits enabled because I have the numbers. This is not cheating. This is required when you do pipes and doors. Now let's take a look at the rest of the icons, starting with the Mario head. Change properties and header dialog. This is going for like number of screens and all that good stuff. The lucky to change properties. This is all this stuff. Keep in mind we're not going to be using everything. Just note that we're not going to be using everything in this series because a lot of this will require the use of knowledge of the graphics and coding. The next thing besides the Elgato, the Lakitu is a change half layer. Then you have change layer 3. Then the note block is a change music and time limit setting, which we can actually modify using map patches, which we'll go into more in detail later on in the series. The exit level X animated frames dialog if you want to get into that. And that's literally it for the moment. But I'm going to tell you, this is just only one part of it. This is making a level. This is just for this portion. Now I want to go into the UI when it comes to adding objects and sprites. So to get to objects, you have to get to the you have to use the this note this turn block add objects window. So that is the add objects window. This is why I needed space. So as you can see, you have multiple objects you may add to your level. For example, pipes. Your favorite enemy, the turtle, or ledges, or something like this. Coins, in particular, purple coins, yellow coins, ropes, clouds, pipes. Those type of objects you may add to your level. Doors, small door, if you wish. Important note: if you use a small door, you must have a screen exit defined. Otherwise, it will take you to bonus level, bonus game purgatory. You're not getting out of there until time runs out. Or in the worst case scenario, you have to reset the entire game if there is no time limit, like infinite time. So be very careful when making your ROM hack. The next thing we need is to add sprites window baby Yoshi. This is the add sprites window. This is like um turn block, flowers you can add to your game. Yoshi. The secret exit, info boxes, disco shell. Anything that you see in here you may add. Now do draw your attention to the fact that you will be able to add customized sprites from the community, which we'll go over more in detail when we get to make a level on Thursday. Okay, this is more of a basic understanding. Then, the other thing you will need, especially if you're modifying a level, in particular, where you're trying to make sure that you want to change the level name and all, you are going to be using this castle icon, the overworld editor. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the overworld editor. If this looks familiar to you, this is because it is from the game of Mario World. Alright? The most important thing we're going to take a look at is if we zoom in here, and we are right here, this is where we start. This is the starting point where Mario is, right? The for the beginner for the beginner series, we're only gonna focus on um a few things to worry about. We have on the bottom row we're going to look at level name dialog, which you can change the level name. We're also going to be taking a look at one other thing, then that's this one, the edit message box text dialog. If you put a message box in your level and you want to change what it says, you may do so here. Keep in mind the way this works is there are allowed two message box in one level, and it will depend on how you place it. In particular, the x position, the x coordinate. For example, every even coordinate is number 2, and every odd coordinate is message 1. That's why on 0001 you have two messages. You have welcome, this is dinosaur land, in a in that particular, and 0002 is the one for Yoshi, where he pops out of the egg for the first time. And then 42, level 4 message 2 is the ghost house, the first ghost house in Donut Plain, and so on and so forth. So you can edit all of this if you wish. Just keep in mind the message you're gonna see is based on what number, what level number you are on, and the x coordinate on the map. So let's just say, for example, we are level 105. So 105, I believe, has two messages. Let's see. Let's take a look. Yep, 105.1 is point of advice. So let's take a look at that on the editor here. 105.1 should be around here. There we go. One. So you see that is a sprite, I believe. Yes. So this is a sprite. You see how there's a number one on the X position on the box on the top left corner. This is going to display message one based on this. Based on this. So this is message one. 105. This is message one right here. Right here. You can hold an item into the box at the top of the screen. This is the reserve box, right? So that's number one. That's message one. The message two is you pick up a shell using the hold X or Y button. All right, and message two is, I believe, over here. Right around there. That's message two. The moment that you move it, though, it's going to alternate one, two, one, two, one, two. It's going to alternate based on the X position. Okay, like that. Now I changed the position, but I did not change the number because it's still an even position. Excuse me. So that's good. We did not change the positioning. We changed the position, but we did not change the message. It's an X. It's an even. So now that's for messages. Now let's take a look at how can you change the level number. We're gonna do that more when we get into overworld material in lesson 3 or 4. All right. Now I want to start talking about actual putting stuff inside of levels now. And then on Thursday's lesson, we're gonna actually build a level. So now we're gonna be focusing more on these three screens right here. Let's modify level 105. We're gonna start by selecting layer one editor mode, which is this badge. We're gonna hold Control A, and we're gonna press the delete button. We're also gonna be doing the same for the sprite with the turtle shell. Hold Control A, except for the first one. We're gonna delete all the sprite. We'll talk about midway exits later on because I need to teach you guys about how to use it. So we remove all the sprites except for the main Mario. All right. Now we're gonna start modifying the level. To put stuff in the level, you have to be in the correct editor mode. There are three editing modes: the layer one, layer two, and layer three. And depending on what you have selected, will depend on what you get to add to your level. For example, the standard objects, you need to be in level one. You need to be in layer one editing mode. And then we're going to use object. So we're going to apply, we're going to add a ledge that Mario can stand on. Let's go this one right here. You're going to left click on the thing you want to add from the menu, and then we're going to right click inside of the level. Where do you want to place it? You are allowed to move it. You're also allowed to resize it by going here, clicking on it, and then you press hold left click until you find what you like. We could go right here. Then if you want to get another object, like for example the right solid right edge, we're going to right click, and then we're going to go here. Then we're going to resize it to fit it right there. We're also going to get a corner. Let's go this one right here. Get corner. We got a corner there. Let me actually find one that's, there we go. This is what I want. I want this one more. There we go. So we have our little corner, and I'm going to remove one because that's going to be the top of the corner. We're going to remove this. I'm going to add this. I'm going to do this. There we go. And I'm going to do this. Oh, there we go. All right. So there's your ledge. And now we can play. Kind of. So before we play, we have to allow our emulator, our Lunar Magic, to know where our emulator is located. So what you do is press File, you go to Emulator, you're going to set up emulator. We're going to press Browse. Wherever you downloaded SNES 9X is where you're going to put your emulator, and then press Open. Press OK. You're not going to use anything for command line. And then to test your ROM hack for the first time, you have two options. The the shortcut, excuse me, the two options are press File, Emulator, Run ROM and Emulator, or press the shortcut F4 to bring up your emulator. And there you go. Have your controller ready, where it's at a USB controller or whatever. Make sure you put the input correctly. I'll have a redo tutorial on SMS9X later down the line. And then you can play your ROM hack. Congratulations, you just made your first level. So now we have to go through the intro cutscene because we never did anything with it. we're just starting out. So Yoshi's Island 1, and you can see we've made our level. This is the same thing as shown on the left side. It is exactly what it sounds looks like. Now there's nothing here. So now let's actually add stuff. Okay, let's start adding stuff. That is what I'm looking for. Hold up. That is what I'm looking for actually. Or hold on. Because this one is always cut off. There we go. Okay. That's what I like. So now we can start adding materials. So let's go ahead and start adding some stuff. Let's go ahead and add another ledge. This one this one is way over here. And then let's go left side. There we go. Do that. And then let's expand this a little bit more. And then let's do the right side. All right, there. And then um let's add some enemies. Let's do let's have uh I don't want to make this too hard right off the rip. Let's add a sprite. Make sure if you're adding sprites, click the turtle shell first. We're gonna add a blue Koopa, and then we're gonna add a third one. We're gonna add one more, and then under sprite, we're gonna no not sprite. I believe it's an object. No, it is a sprite. Let me look. We're gonna add a block, left flying block with coin, flower, etc. This one is gonna be depending on the X position, and you can tell what's going to be here because look at what's the outline. This is a one up. This is a flower, and it is a cape feather. Now keep in mind, if you're small Mario, no matter what happens, I believe you get a mushroom no matter what. So we're gonna go ahead and play now. Press F4 on your keyboard for the shortcut. Keep in mind, you must do this every time so that your changes save. So as you can see, we have the ledge. Oh, come on, come here. I barely got it. So we got the flying one. We have the turtle shell. Oh, nice, awesome, good level, design. So there's a first taste of level development with Lunar Magic. I'm gonna I am going to see if I can find actually let's get a mushroom. I believe that is an object. Yes, I believe it's an object. No, it's a sprite. Yeah, let's get a mushroom. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna put the mushroom here. I'm gonna remove this turtle. These turtles. The mushroom is gonna be let's put it on top of a let's Let's put it on top. Let's actually find an object right there. Let's put it on top of this. Back to layer one, like that. Let's see if that thing stays on there because I haven't tested out with that. Let's see. And yeah, it does. Look at that. Nice. You have your mushroom. Congratulations. Nice. Now we're going to add the end of the level. I'm going to copy this, put it over here. I'm going to copy this, put it over here, and copy this, put it over here. Then I'm going to move the. I'm going to add the gold tape. I believe that is a sprite. Let me just make sure. No, that is a. The gold point itself is a standard object. We're gonna add the object layer one, and then we're going to add the tape, which is going to be a sprite. And we're particularly using the normal exit gold tape. We're going to press the sprite, we'll place it right there. So now, if we have enough space, we'll be good to go. And let's go ahead and test it. So don't forget, Thursday's lesson, we're going to make a full level. This one is more basic understanding of how to do it. Oh, there it is. I got lucky, I have enough space. That would have been bad if it didn't. And that counts for the normal exit. Now, I will tell you I got lucky. The reason being is that was just enough space. So what happens is if Mario dies during the transition to the end of the level, it will count as Mario dies. You don't clear the level. So be very careful. The only time you want to do that on purpose is if you're making a Kaizo hack. That is the only time you do that. Other than that, don't. If you're making a standard normal difficulty hack, make sure your the length of the final area where the gold tape is, especially gold tape, it's going to be enough for the for everything. All right? So be very careful. Let's see if this is enough space. Okay, there should be enough space. Oh yeah, way enough. Now keep in mind, I have not modified any other level, so the Switch Palace is gonna be the same. All other levels are the same. Now, let's go ahead and start discussing about other things you can do to modify your level. We're gonna make this a little harder. Not Kaizo level hard, but we're gonna make it harder. Actually, you know what? Forget it. We're gonna go jump into deep end. So, so a lot of ROM hack developers nowadays want to play Kaizo level, want to make Kaizo hack. And actually, I have a little treat for you guys. I am going to show you guys what I'm making for you guys. So let me go ahead and get my hack. So this is the hack I'm making. Now I know it's not much, but I'm going to tell you this is a Kaizo hack. Let me show you what I mean. Not 8, F4. This is a Kaizo. I called it Plants and Munchies for the first level. But I did it by room. So you spin jump here. You go through that little door. You wait. You spin jump there. You go all the way to this door. Checkpoint. You jump here. You jump here. You spin jump here. You get to here. Now I don't have anything yet. And I do realize I need to do one quick thing. I have not patched it to where the midway point um stays too small. So what I need to do is by on purpose I have to do a little something called what they call a power check. I think they call it power check. I'm gonna copy this on purpose. I'm going to shorten this. Then what's gonna happen is you are gonna touch by rule uh this muncher right around where's Munchie? There's Munchie. Okay, so Munchie, I believe we're gonna touch him here, and then you can go under that for the door. So we're gonna test it out again. Munchie. That is our little first look at it. I did it room by room. Now I do need to patch this a little bit because I want to do like unlimited lives. I have to do patching. I will teach you guys how to do that later on. We're also be doing custom sprites. So wait for the power check. Nice. Nice. And there's a level. Now, it might not be the end of the level yet because I'm going to probably add a little bit more spice to it. Okay, nice. Now, by the way, you can edit the level switch and the switch palette. But I'm not gonna show you what I have planned right now because I want to keep it a surprise. But I will tell you, um, I am adding it to my website, yukiproductions.com. So if you guys want to see progress of it, I'm gonna start putting this on my website. I have a brand new sec. I'm remaking this section. This used to be Mario Maker. I'm gonna be making it for my ROM hack. I'm also gonna be doing more commentaries on ROM hack. So get ready for that. Okay, so as you guys can see, I only have one video of it, and this is the video when I originally started making it. I'm gonna make another video very soon for that portion. Although you never know, I might change the way it looks because I found a custom sprite, custom object that turns it into like beat all the enemies in this room before advancing. So I might do that because what you guys voted for on the channel, if I remember correctly, you guys voted for you want me to make this more of a room by room hack. And you guys said more mini rooms. So I am going to like do that. But I'm going to test out this mechanic before I do anything. All right? So yeah. So on Thursday, we're going to go back to our little hack, our little tutorial hack that we're making, the one that we're making together. This one right here. We're going to start getting into like more added stuff. We're going to talk about difficulty stuff, and then we're going to start adding customized sprites from the community. I'm going to be teaching you guys about that, and then later down the line, we're going to start talking about the overworld, how that is handled. We'll also talk about why a lot of people use Kaiser Hack and a lot more. That's coming up on Thursday when we start making your first level. I just showed you a little taste of what you can do right here. On Thursday, we're going to start expanding the level, understanding level design, and understanding how everything works, X and Y positioning, and all that good stuff. Right? That's all for this one. I hope you guys understood the lesson. If you have any other questions, let me know. And a question of the day is, if you ever wanted to make your own ROM hack, what type of hack would you get? What do you make? A Kaizo hack or a standard hack? Let me know in the comments. That's all for this tutorial. We'll be back on Thursday for the next tutorial. Tonight on TikTok for gaming news. And this is TikTok only. This is TikTok only, and it's going to be on the phone. And then tomorrow we have Mori Ball of Yoshi, which is considered a standard normal hack. That's all. Enjoy, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this lesson. See you guys on Thursday for more.